Hi, my name is Kristen, and I want to share with you some of my experience with my sexual assault case with the University of Washington. I reported a sexual assault case, and it was initially found in my favor, and we'll call him the respondent, who is the person I was accusing, was given a 1-year suspension, and which he appealed. And what I really take issue with the University of Washington is the appeal. So when the appeal decision came back to me and they found entirely 100% in his favor, which I was told is a little unusual to find 100% in someone else's favor, what really bothered me were the reasons why. One of the reasons was, quote, texting is ubiquitous in their generation. And what they were saying was that because I didn't text him the day after the assault, that his version of the events was more likely true. I know I read that and I thought that can't possibly be what they mean. I read it over and over again, and that's exactly what they mean. So I would like to say to the University of Washington, I'm so sorry. If I ever get sexually assaulted on, when I'm in your program, I will make sure to text the person who assaulted me right after. I'll text something like, thanks for assaulting me, LOL, just to make sure I've got some kind of, proof documentation that I'm for sure telling the truth. So yeah, I didn't realize people were supposed to text the people that assault them. That was news to me. The other thing that really, really upset me, which I think the University of Washington has absolutely no right to infer. When I felt the protrusion of his penis within my outer labia, my body recoiled. I went into like a shrimp crawl away from him, and I was in the fetal position crying really hard. And both of our accounts say that this happened. His account say this happened, my account says this happened. And then what the University of Washington decided was that I wasn't actually crying as a reaction to the stimulus of being assaulted. They actually said that the reason I was crying was because of a recent breakup a few months ago. Title IX panel of the University of Washington, you have absolutely no right to tell me what stimulus I'm responding to when I'm being assaulted. And for that to even be a factor in your decision making is disgusting to me and truly appalling. So I applied for an appeal of the appeal with the president of the University of Washington, and I had new evidence, which I had not submitted before, because I was advised if I submitted documents from my therapist, then all of the documents that have ever come through the mental health part of the Hall Health could possibly be like used as evidence. So inferring that I would have like no privacy in terms of what I ever spoke to my shrink about. And at first that seemed a little daunting. So I said, you know what? Okay, maybe I won't submit that evidence, because the evidence was I went to my therapist about 2 weeks after it happened, and I briefly told her what happened. I wasn't ready to really talk about it, but she documented it. Time-stamped documentation from my therapist 2 weeks after the event that actually proves that my timeline is accurate, because he posited that there was a completely different timeline months later. And when I tried to submit it, because then I realized, you know what, I don't care if everyone can see my mental health records. Whatever, fine. You want to dig through my emotional garbage, go for it. I hope your hands get dirty. So I decided I wanted to submit it, and I told the president of the university I would like to submit this new evidence that actually proves that my timeline is accurate. And they said that evidence isn't really new. Excuse me. How is evidence I have never submitted before, time-stamped from my therapist, not new evidence? It's new evidence. So basically, I'm coming out of the closet today and saying, hey, I was sexually assaulted during my time at the University of Washington. And their response was that they don't give a fuck. So I have advice to every girl out there at the University of Washington who finds herself sexually assaulted. Report it, but know that most likely nothing will come of it, except for this. The university will probably find in favor of the person who assaulted you. But here's the important thing. That's not the important thing. The important thing is that you will no longer be living a lie. And not living a lie will wreck your life a little bit. It will make you unclear here. It will make you confused. It'll make you feel guilty. It'll make you feel really terrible things. But at the other end of that is it feels really good to not be living a lie anymore. So that's why I say, if you've been sexually assaulted, come forward, not because the university will care, but because it will make a difference in how you ask people to treat you. Thank you so much for listening.